What is up, guys, and welcome back to another BullRush Live podcast. Today is September 19th. It's a beautiful day here in South Florida, and we have an action-packed show. We had tons of really good football games this week, too. We had an action-packed Thursday night football game last night, which we'll talk about a little bit here in the future. And, of course, we had this interest rate cuts. So we'll talk about all that. And, of course, you know me, I got to talk a little bit about crypto. So we'll get into a little bit of crypto news. But I got to say, it's been a crazy week between, like I said, between the interest rate cuts, some stuff with crypto happening. Crypto's been, as always, very volatile. And it almost seems like a movie with the way all of these NFL games have been playing. I watch these games and I don't know if I'm watching a game or if I'm watching someone play Madden, because these plays and the players and everything is just so, I feel like this season has just been such high energy. There's been so many games that are so close, and so many injuries, so many, just so much news and so much gossip and so much craziness that's always happening in just 2 weeks of football. We're only 2 weeks in. And the NFL Survivor has had a lot of crazy movements. So we'll go into that, all of that and more. All of that and more in this show. What's up, Sports Picker? What's up, Drink Forex? Nice to see you guys in the chat. We got about 25 people here today. So beautiful morning. I want to say hi to all of you guys. And I want to say hi and a good Friday to all 163,000, and I gotta look over here because that updated 755,000 BullRush competitors. We are up to 163,755 competitors. We're just a stone skips away from 200,000 users, and who knows? Maybe we'll have a big giveaway. Maybe we'll do something huge for 200K, but stay tuned. Well, without further ado, let's hop in. Let's go over some housekeeping. Let's go over some BullRush updates. And actually, before I even get into any of that, I just wanted to announce that the BullRush team will be at the London Prop Trading Expo. Let me pull it up here for you guys. We are going to be at the London Prop Trading Expo next weekend, right here, this beautiful thing, right here at the Grand Connaught. Sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, any of my UK people out there, but at the Grand Connaught Rooms on September 27th. Now, I have a special deal for you guys. Excuse me. I have a special deal for you guys. If you guys go and put in code BullRush here, you're going to get 50% off your ticket. So I'll show you guys just how it'll work. So type in BullRush, hit apply. You see right here, well, let's put one ticket in there. So you see 20 pounds, hit apply, and boom shakalaka, down to 10 pounds. Same thing with the VIP 25. That'll get discounted as well. It was 35, got discounted down to 25, and then of course 50% off that trader ticket. So don't forget, if you're in Europe, if you're in the UK, make sure you go in, make sure you come say hi. There's a lot of really great things here. I know there's a lot of giveaways, so we're giving away $1 million worth of funded accounts here. I think there's a few, like $6 million worth of funded accounts and mentoring prizes that are going to be given away. And the thing I'm most excited about is we have our own stage, the BullRush stage. So not only will you be able to meet us and come to the booth, we're also going to be having our own stage with our own shows. So we're going to have Will Davies there. He's going to be talking about trading psychology. We're going to have a live head-to-head battle with Rajan Dahl and 2 other people live on stage, so you can watch 2 other experts, trading experts. So you'll be able to see from D&D Trading School, I believe. So you'll be able to see how experts trade in a high-pressure situation. That's going to be a 1-hour live trading competition. We're going to have an amazing keynote from our CEO and our fearless leader, Trent Hare, followed by a walkthrough where you guys can ask any questions about BullRush, and we'll answer them, whether it's technical, about the future of BullRush, the past of BullRush, anything you like, what we like, what's our favorite food, whatever you like. And then right after that, Rajan Dal is going to be giving a keynote speech here about technical analysis unlocked. Rajan has over 30 years of experience in the markets, and he'll break down everything you need to know and give you some really good advice about technical analysis. And of course, you can ask him any questions that you would like. Next, we'll have an interview with Bashar Gokal. Just about strategies that work well for props and ones that don't. If you're new to prop trading, or you're not and you just want to improve, we'll be talking about some strategies that really work for prop and some that do not. Next, we have our live trivia competition. So any of you guys who see our weekly trivia on the weekends, if you don't know, Saturdays we do Forex or trading trivia, and on Sundays we do sports trivia. So we're going to have a live trivia game live on stage. You're going to stand in front of the stage. I'm going to be announcing the games, and we're going to have a cool prize for that as well at the end. So you don't want to miss that. But there's more. We're also going to have a fireside chat here with Trent, Neil, and myself talking about BullRush again. Again, this is a great opportunity for you guys who have questions to come ask questions to the whole team, to the CEO, CMO, and of course me as well if you have any social media questions. And then this is one of the things I'm most excited for is our BullRush trading competition finals. So throughout the London prop trading event, we're going to be doing a prop trading competition, right? So from the start of the event, I think it actually starts the night before. So if you're signed up, once you sign up and you purchase your ticket, you're going to get an email with a code and a link to sign up for that competition. It'll open up, I think, the night before, so you'll be able to place trades throughout the whole day. And then the top 4 traders in that competition, I believe the competition will end like at 4:30. We'll move London time. We'll move on to our final trading competitions finals. They'll come on stage, trade for 1 hour live on stage for some really good, really cool prizes. Let me actually pull those prizes up because you do not want to miss those. Sorry, give me one moment here. Here we go. Sorry. Boom. Here you go. I had to find the link here. So this is the competition. Of course, the prizes are going to be, so like I said, top 4 people are going to move on to the final trading competition. If you move on to that final trading competition, you're pretty much locked in and secured to enter that competition, right? You're locked in. You're going to win something. So first place in that in the finals at the London Prop Trading Expo are going to win a custom championship trading belt. Think WWE, think UFC, think World Boxing Championship, a nice, big, gold, shiny, beautiful belt. You can hang it behind you in your wall. You can hang it anywhere, but you are the London Prop Trading BullRush Trading Competition champion. On top of that, you're going to be winning a $50,000 prop, A-Book prop challenge. Second place will win $25K, third place will win $10K, and fourth place will win $5K. So if my math is not wrong, that is $75,000, $85,000, $90,000 worth of prop challenges that we're going to be giving away right here at the London Prop Trading Expo, just for the trading competition, not even including any other giveaways or things that we might do at the competition. And of course, we're going to round it out with a trading competition award ceremony. We'll give the people the winners their prop challenges, and of course that big, nice, shiny, beautiful championship belt that you can show off to your friends, wear around the conference, and hang up on your wall. Do whatever you want. Put it on your fridge. But you do not want to miss this. And on top of just the BullRush stage, there are tons of other speakers here. Trent is going to be speaking at the main stage as well. I think one of these, something. Here you go, this one. Boom. So Trent will be speaking at this one, I believe, harnessing AI to find a competitive edge. So make sure, moral of the story is, if you're in Europe, if you're in the UK, if you're in London, if you're anywhere close and you can make it here next weekend, use code BullRush. You're going to get 50% off your ticket. Price of a cup of coffee or 2 cups of coffee here. You can come, say hi, and potentially win tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of challenge accounts. So make sure you hop in there. Make sure you join that. Other news, we have Sorry, am I in sports? Yes, I am in sports. We have our satellites to the 100K NFL Survivor competition. 100K split up between the top winners of the final round. First place is going to get $50,000. You can't enter directly, but don't worry, there's still time. There's still a way that you can enter, and that is if we go, sorry, I was in the trading competitions. If we go over here, right now we have our NFL satellite into round 4. That will be ending on Tuesday of next week. Excuse me, on Tuesday of next week. If you would like to enter next week's NFL Survivor, you can still hop in here for only $20. The top 10 people from this competition are going to be moved over to the NFL Survivor competition. If you don't feel good about week 3 right now, and you know, placing some picks on week 3 and you want to wait to week 4, hop in this one. This is our NFL Survivor into round 5. Now, a really cool thing about these is you got really good chances of winning these. So if we go in here and look, this one is for this week. Give a sec, let me hit a little refresh-a-roni here. There's only 2 people left in here. So both of these people are secured to go in. So what I'm saying is, essentially, if you enter this, you're pretty much going to be entering the NFL Survivor for $20. So if you want to enter the NFL Survivor, place at least one pick. Don't blow your whole load. Don't you know, blow the whole bankroll in one bet. But as long as you don't blow your whole bankroll in one bet and you enter here and place at least one pick, you're going to be guaranteed a round, as long as it's under still 10 people, because right now it's less than 10 people, but you're going to be guaranteed a round into, or a place in round 4. So $20 can get you a potential of upwards of $50,000. Because remember, it's $50,000 just in the final, but hypothetically, if you win first place every week, you could win up to $55,000. 55,000. We got some chats here, so let me read these out. So it's a great privilege to be able to arrive alive by the grace of God here at BullRush. These have been the epicenter since the Fed rate cuts to 0.25 basis points. Yes, Master Terrace Ford Best, my boy, I would say the #1 BullRush user, Master Terrace Ford Best. Yes. It is a blessing that we are here alive, breathing every day. You never know when you're not going to be breathing. I mean, we know, I think everybody knows somebody that, you know, maybe didn't wake up the next day when they thought they were going to wake up the next day. So it is a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing that I'm working here for the greatest fantasy sports, daily fantasy sports company in the world and the greatest prop firm in the world. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, and I am just so grateful that we have been blessed with such a beautiful day. Sports Picker, I wish I could be London. Sounds fun. Catch me in Cali next time you're in LA. Yes, who knows? This is just the first. So I know your name over there is Sports Picker, so who knows? Maybe we'll do a live sports picking competition in LA or in California soon. So stay tuned. We got a lot of really, really great things coming up. Drink Forex said Fed cutting rates is dog shit. They are causing inflation. I would have to agree. I think we are hyper. I think we're just trying to rush inflation down. But what we'll see is, yeah, maybe some prices of some things are going to go down now. Maybe, you know, you'll be able to get that car loan for a cheaper price, and you know, that house loan for a cheaper price. But in the end, we're going to be right back where we started in about few years, maybe a year or two, as far as inflation, and they're just going to have to raise those rates again. So I agree with you, Drink Forex, but we'll dive deeper into that in just a moment here. More of the story here is join the NFL Survivor. You get essentially, as long as it's under 10 people, if there's less than 10 people, you have a guaranteed spot in the NFL Survivor. And this one's ending soon, so you might as well hop in. There's only 2 people in there. You are going to have a one-stop shop straight into that NFL Survivor competition. Now, $20, that's a little bit out of your budget. Do not worry. We got the sports competition every week that goes on. It's a general sports competition. That means you can bet on any sport you want that we have on BullRush. If you want to bet on your soccer, football, American football, rugby, cricket, whatever sport you want to, Bundesliga, whatever you want to bet on, hop in there. If you got that edge in sports, baseball, basketball, I forgot about those two. If you got your edge in sports, hop in that. It's only $1.99. We're giving away $100 every competition. And that is it for upcoming sports competitions. How is everybody in the chat here? Thank you, Drink Forex, Sports Picker, Master Terrace, Ford Best. Always great to see you guys in the chat. Let's do a little update on the actual NFL Survivor Tournament, and then we'll get into a little bit of our news here. So, the NFL Survivor Tournament right now. Boom, shakalaka right here. Let's look at the... Wow! All right. We only got 113 people left right here. We got Canadian Goose in first place with 241% returns. My man turned 100 grand into 341,000 and some pocket change. We're not going to mention the rest, but 341, 100K to 341. Gosh darn it, if that's not the best. Listen, let me follow your trades, brother. But let's hop in his Discord or his dashboard, and we can actually follow his trades or his picks. So we see here he had one here, the Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins. He had Buffalo Bills for plus 7.5, and he had cold feet and canceled it here. And that one was $6,000 to win. Well, I guess it doesn't tell us what the odds were, but it was minus 6,000. So don't want to do the math. If anybody in the chat wants to do the math and let me know in the chat, I'll let you know. But I'm not going to do the math right now. But that would not have been a good payout there. So maybe good that he canceled that. Then he had another parlay here that he lost for 5K. Another parlay that was plus, what is it, 19,000? Let's check that one out. What was that miracle parlay that he almost hit here? Oh my lord. So he lost it by 2. Holy mackerel. So it was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 leg parlay, and he only lost it by 2. He had Josh Allen under 20 pass completions. I mean, I could have told you that one. I think that was a very low number. I would have probably done an alternative line if I could to like 30 or something like that. And then he had Khalil Shakir at receptions under 42.5. He is an absolute train. So he, obviously did not go under on those. I typically like to, I like to play in the favor of people doing good. So I'll try to do, I try to do mostly overs, and I'll pick the ones where the odds on the books are a little low. So that way I could, betting on someone to fail. I think, how do I say it? I think the juju, the sports picking juju out there, I think you get more good juju if you start betting on people picking on people doing better. Master Cherish Ford Best said, I'll be joining the NFL Survivor soon. Well, if you join the NFL Survivor, you can, like I said, right now there's only 2 people in that satellite competition. If you join that satellite competition, you essentially have, remember, if any legals listening, anybody's listening, if it stays below 10 people in that competition, you have a guaranteed, and you don't bet or place a pick and wager in your entire bankroll. You essentially have a guaranteed shot into the NFL Survivor. So do yourself a favor, take that little 20 schmackarouge and hop in that NFL Survivor, because I'm telling you, when that Survivor's done and we do a video with the first place winner and he's holding up that $50,000 in cash and he's sitting outside of a Lamborghini. I'm just kidding. He's not going to get a Lamborghini. I hope he doesn't, because that'd be a terrible investment. But when you see that winner holding that stack of cash, that $50,000 cash in his hand, you're going to be like, dang dang it, dang it. You're not going to be hitting yourself with cash because you didn't win. But you're going to be hitting yourself in the head like, dang it, dang it, dang it. Why didn't I just pay the little $20? I just went and bought, the new Madden or the new FIFA game for $60. I could have just entered the NFL Survivor for 20 and won 50,000 or over $50,000. So hop in that NFL Survivor, only $20 to enter. Let's go with the fade. I mean, since we're talking about the rate cut and everything like that, let's get into the rate cut. Let's just talk about the rate cut, and then we'll hop back over here. And maybe if you guys have any comments about the rate cut, I'd love to hear your comments, feedback. What do you guys think about the new rate cut? But if you haven't already seen the news, if you don't watch the beautiful speeches by our wonderful Jerome Powell, where he walked in and he gave us the deadly words of good afternoon. We heard that. Everybody's heart pressure sank or rose, I guess, and charts were going crazy. But all in all, the Federal Reserve announced its first interest rate cut of 2025, lowering its benchmark federal funds rate to 25 basis points to a range of 4% to 4.25%. Chair Jerome Powell called it a risk management cut, citing cooling labor markets and slowing job gains and rising unemployment, even as inflation remains above its 2% target. Newly appointed Fed board member Stephen Marion dissented, pushing for a larger half-point rate cut. The Fed's projections suggest 2 more rate cuts later this year, likely in October and December, depending on economic data. Markets react with cautious optimism. Stocks climb to record highs, while consumers can expect slightly lower borrowing costs for mortgages, car loans, and business credit, though savings rates are probably going to be declining. This decision reflects the Fed's balancing act between supporting a softening economy and keeping inflation under control amid political and market pressure. Of course, we see, I personally think that this was all political. I think it was a political lowering to, kind of artificially boost the economy in the short term. Drink Forex, let me know if you agree with that, if you think this is just an artificial kind of beautification of our economy for the short term to make the average consumer, the average investor, the average American think that red leather, yellow leather, that the ship isn't sinking. But we'll see. I have to agree. Fed cutting rates is dog shit. Drink Forex, and they are causing inflation. I think, in the long term. And when I say long term, it could be few months, it could be a few years. It will definitely be causing more inflation, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, they're in positions of power because they know more than us. So hopefully they know something that we don't, and maybe something. I'd like to say, everybody is very pessimistic in this world, especially with news and investing in economics and stuff. And I do have an economics degree, and I like to be a optimistic economist. So I always like to lean towards the positives and lean towards the potential positive outcome. So I hope that the Fed knows something that I don't, and this will work out good in the end. Same thing with the tariffs. That's what I've been saying in the past shows. If you watched any of the past shows when we had all those tariff debacles going on, same thing. I said it then, said it now. We can make assumptions, but I'm hoping that they know something that we do not. Let's go into some crypto real quick before we go back to the dashboard here. Because we did have some really cool news out of crypto. Nothing too crazy. Honestly, we haven't seen any major insane moves in the past maybe 2-3 weeks in crypto. We've seen, your steady movements, volatility, and it's crazy because any other asset, you look at a 5-10% movement, you're like, this is insane. The company's crashing or the company's absolutely booming. Crypto, It's just another Tuesday, so we got a little bit of news, nothing major though. But our first stories out of Washington, where the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, our favorite commission, has made a move that could open the floodgates for new crypto ETFs. The SEC approved new generic listing standards for commodity-based exchange trade products across Nasdaq, Kobe, BZX, and New York Stock Exchange (ARCA). This means issuers no longer have to go through long individual application process for crypto ETFs, streamlining approvals and speeding up launches. Sorry. The first to take advantage of the change is Grayscale with its digital large cap fund, a basket that includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Cardano. Analysts say this could bring a wave of new crypto ETFs to the market, potentially making it easier for traditional investors to gain exposure to digital assets. We see every week we got new news from the SEC. Meanwhile, Bitcoin continues to wrestle with key technical levels. Charts are showing resistance in the 120,000 to 125,000 range, while strong support sits between $100 and $105,000. Traders are watching closely to see whether Bitcoin will break through resistance or dip back towards support. Interestingly, Bitcoin dominance is slipping as altcoins like Ethereum and Solana begin to capture more of the market's attention. The shift could signal a potential alt season if the trend continues. I think that we are already in alt season, honestly. I mean, if you look at the last, 2-3 months here, we've just seen Ethereum, even XRP a little bit, but mostly Ethereum, Solana, Cardano. We've been seeing them absolutely pump, especially Ethereum. Very, very bullish on Ethereum right now. And yeah, we might be seeing a altcoin season, but at the end of the day, the heart, the lungs, the brain of crypto is still Bitcoin. So I really think that, even if we don't see massive gains, if we see, another huge surge of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% gains in these altcoins, I have no doubt that we're going to see 5, 10 to 15, maybe even 15% gains in Bitcoin right now. So right now it's fluctuating 5% up and down. I think that if altcoins do come in a pump, and I consider us in an altcoin season right now. I know a lot of other people don't, but I just, with the volatility that I'm seeing in altcoins, with the volatility I'm seeing with Ethereum and XRP and Cardano, Solana, and just what I've been seeing actual experts, I'm not an expert, what I've seen actual experts say, I really, really feel good with altcoins. And as we know, like I said, heart and rock is Bitcoin. So if altcoins rise, in the end, Bitcoin will also rise, just obviously not with the biggest. But I think, like I said, we see some 20 to 50%, 25 to 50% gains in altcoins respectively. We'll see, 10 to 15% gains in Bitcoin, which should be huge and which should get us over that 120, 125% mark. We got some chats here before I go into the last let me go in the last cryptos. Let's do the chats. Master Chairs Ford Best said, there is something so substantial that I have been thinking about what BullRush represents today, and it is that psychological character, since trading is largely of psychology. And this is the following. There are great opportunities with accounts from 100K paid, whether promotional credits or normal credits, for 99 cents per competition. It is the representation of tranquility and mental health when operating in the face of realities of real accounts that others have and bum due to lack of fundamental knowledge. Sorry, I got terrible eyes, and we're going to be switching over to another software soon, so we'll be able to put the chats up right on the screen here so you can see, and I'll be able to see better, but right now they're pretty small. Master Fair said, being in BullRush means being healthy when operating with a high responsibility to seek fruits. I mean, I've heard that, so, I think I kind of get what you're saying with BullRush. That's one thing I've noticed is people say they come into BullRush, and even though, as far as like what you have on the line, like entering and paying, isn't as much, like, as when you go look at our trading competitions, for example. I've seen tons of people that just blew hundreds to thousands of dollars with other prop firms, and then they go into our trading competitions and they learn that fundamental knowledge of the fundamental knowledge. They get back to the fundamentals of trading. They learn, their trade psychology. They learn to control their emotions, right? But they're not wasting thousands of dollars trying to pass prop accounts, right? And on the flip side, I've seen plenty of people that have been doing horribly with prop accounts. They come over, they trade in a couple of our competitions, they win a competition, they win a prop account from us, they get funded. Let's say they win a 5K. I actually saw this happen. Someone won a 5K prop account, got B booked, right? Because we have 4 stages. Stage 3 is B booked. Got B booked, took his payout from B booked, bought another prop account. While he was trying to pass the second prop account, he got A booked, got a payout, then got A booked in his second prop account, and boom, now he went from an unsuccessful trader with every other prop firm with B books and stuff to coming in, practicing in our trading competitions, winning a free account, and then purchasing more accounts, and now he's funded now from a free account and one purchase of, I think he got it on one of our deals where we had it for like $20 for a 5K account. So essentially for $20, he got 10K in funding. He got more knowledge. He got essentially $1,000 of trade psychology coaching for free. So when you look at that and you look at these people selling trade psychology, or you look at these people who are selling, these courses, try out BullRush, because you could potentially save thousands of dollars in courses and mentoring, and thousands of dollars in failed prop accounts. And then, in the end, if you're successful, you might win a free prop account, or at the very least, you get the knowledge to be able to pass a prop account, and you get a BullRush A-book prop account, and you're a real trader trading in the market. After this crypto news, I'll explain a little bit the difference between A-booked and B-booked. I know that's a big kind of confusion in the prop space right now, but I will clear that up right after this. So lastly, for crypto, in the UK, controversy is brewing over a proposal from the Bank of England. The central bank has suggested strict caps on stablecoin holdings, as low as $10,000 to $20,000 for individuals and up to $10 million for companies. Oh my God. Sorry, I need it. Sorry, guys. My throat. I had I don't know if it's like an AC issue or something at my house, but my house has been super dry. And then my throat's been super dry for the last few days. So if I'm a little coughing, and I'm drinking a lot of coffee to kind of soothe my throat. Been doing a lot of talking. So let's just start that over. Because the UK controversy brewing over proposed Bank of England. The central bank has suggested strict caps on stablecoin holdings, as low as $10,000 to $20,000 for individuals and $10 million for companies. These caps would apply to what regulators call systematic stablecoins, or tokens considered to be integral to the financial system. However, industry leaders are pushing back hard, arguing that such limits would stifle innovation and could make the UK less competitive compared to markets like the US and EU. Duh, where stablecoin rules are more flexible. This debate will be crucial to watch as UK positions itself as a potential global crypto hub. I mean, I have no idea why any government would want to do that, why any government would want to limit not just stable coins, but any coin, especially stable coins. I understand why they said that. Does it make sense, or would it work? No. That's the same thing as limiting how much money somebody can hold. I guess they want to prevent volatility, maybe prevent from volatility, but I think volatility is where winners are made. In my simplicity, I encourage every trader. It's possible to achieve a new week. Are you ready? More NFL Survivor. Hop in the NFL Survivor, Master Terrace Ford Best. I see you killing the trading charts. I want to see you in that NFL Survivor. I want to see a picture of you with the cash in your hand. Actually, I want you to win, Master Terrace Ford Best. If you're still watching, I want you to win the NFL Survivor. If you win the NFL Survivor, I know you're down there. You're pretty close here to Florida in Trinidad, right? I think you are. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me. But I think you're in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me know if I'm wrong. But if you're there, I'd love to see you come up to Florida, say what's up, and we'll go out. We'll have some fun. We'll go out to dinner. I want to see you win that cash. I want to see our number one competitor. But anybody can win. Anybody could win. Before I get into any more here, I do want to give a quick reminder that we have a prop deal. So right now, we have a huge prop deal. So talking about prop accounts, if you're a new customer, you can use code WELCOME and get 30% off all of our prop accounts. Anywhere from $5,000 all the way up to $200,000 A-book funded. You get 30% off. Use code SAVE20, and this is if you've already, purchased a prop account for us, you want a second one. You're going to use code SAVE20 and get 20% off all 5, 10, and 25K prop accounts. And then lastly, you're going to use code SAVE15. Let's say, you're like, I'm a big dog. I ain't no little dog. I'm a big dog. You want to get that 50, 100, or 200K account, you're going to use code SAVE15 and get 15% off those big 50, 100K, or 200K accounts. So make sure you hop in there, use that. Real quick before I answer Master Terrace Ford Best's question, difference between B-Book. B-Book is essentially like a casino. I mean, they're not putting your trades into market, and if you're with a B-Book prop account, or a prop firm, which is essentially every prop firm, if another prop firm says they're A-Booked, ask them, email them, or chat, or however you contact them, email them and ask, who is your liquidity provider? If they can't tell you that, I'm calling CAP. They're lying. Just saying it right here. They're lying. And if you're an A-Book prop firm and you're saying you're A-Booked, don't be a liar. Tell us who your liquidity provider is. Our liquidity provider as an A-Book prop firm is Forex. We can tell you that, and you can reach out to Forex, and they will confirm that as well. So we're A-Booked. So difference between A-Book and B-Book. B-Book, they don't put your picks. I almost said picks because it's so much like gambling. They don't put your trades to market, which means that they're hedging, or not. They're not hedging, but they're betting that you lose your trade and you're unprofitable. Because guess what? If you're profitable, they lose money. That comes out of their profits, and their profits all come from you failing challenges. A-Book, which is us, we make our money from successful A-Book traders. So the more people that we can get in our prop firm that are successful traders, and the more people that we can get in our prop firm that actually get payouts, the better. So we want those guys that get $1 million payout. If someone gets $1 million payout, I'm throwing my hat in the. I'm gonna buy them a glass of champagne myself, because guess what? We're actually put that trade to market, and we're splitting those profits, and we're both making money. So in simple, think of it like this: B-Book is you versus the prop firm. Just you versus the market's not even involved. It's you versus the prop firm. Who's a better who's going to be a winner at the end. Only one can win: the prop firm or you, the trader, right? With B-Booked, us, we're adding a third little guy in here. So it's us and you. We're combining. We're teaming up. We are a team. Me and you, a team to take on the market, to beat the market. So it's you, me, together to beat the market. B-Book, it's you versus the prop firm. So you can either be with any other prop firm, and you're competing against the prop firm. And even if you're profitable, you better hope that the CEO and the people in that company don't fly to Dubai and just cancel the prop firm. And now you're like one of those other hopeless people on the internet who just got profitable but never got a payout. Or you can go to a BullRush, where you are 100% guaranteed, if you're a profitable A-Book trader that followed the rules and everything, you're going to get a payout. Now to Master Terrace Ford Best. He said, hi, bro, how do you see the 0.25 basis point cut from the Fed? I already talked about that, but like I said, I think it's early. I think I'd have to agree with Drink Forex. It's probably going to be causing inflation. I think this is just a political kind of social thing. Like, I think this is just the Fed kind of being like, hey guys, I know everybody hated us for the last year, 2 years. Look, we're going to make your car, loan cheaper. Look, you can now refinance your house for a cheaper loan. I think they're just kind of doing that to get people happy, but in the end, I do think it is going to hurt inflation, or I guess I shouldn't say hurt inflation, but increase inflation. It's going to help inflation, which is a net negative for us. Oh shoot, I got a call here. Let me answer this.
What's going on, fine citizens? Football season is finally upon us. Rejoice. And I could be more excited to tell you that I'm partnering with my good friends at BullRush for a brand new show, the Monday Night Edge with Dan Leach. It's going to be sick. The hottest picks, the craziest game recaps, tons of giveaways, and so much more launching in August. Monday nights, 6 p.m. Eastern, for an hour on all major streaming platforms. You don't want to miss it. Be there and believe in the dream.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Be there and believe in the dream. The Monday Night Edge with Dan Leach. I mean, we've had, I think, 6 shows now? I think we've had 6 shows. Huge success. I've made some money off of following Dan's picks. And I know some people in the NFL Survivor have been following his picks because I've been seeing some people copying some picks that he's been talking about. I mean, I'm about to talk about football, but, I'm not a football expert. Dan has had 20 years, 30 years in the game, talking about football, commentating football, all different levels from high school all the way up to professional, and not just football, all sports. So watch the Monday Night Edge every Monday on all streaming platforms. Same that we stream here. So if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, wherever you're watching, watch the Monday Night Edge, same place right here. It's an amazing show. You definitely do not want to miss it. Yeah, I mean, that's all I can say is it's an amazing show. You don't want to miss it. He's going to be going over the NFL recaps just like I'm going over here, but with way more knowledge behind it. He's going to be going over forecasts, injury updates, and, of course, picks. He's going to give you picks. Picks for NFL Survivor, picks for your local sports book. He's going to make you some money, whether it's in BullRush or not. So watch that. That's a great show. You do not want to miss it. And, of course, we have our NFL Survivor satellite rounds. Like I said, $20 to potentially win a share of $100,000. Without further ado, let's get into sports. Let's get in specifically. We're going to stick to NFL this week just because it was such a, like I said, I feel like the last few weeks in NFL have just been absolutely bonkers. I mean, I don't know if I just haven't been paying attention the last few years. There's always action in a few games, but it's like every game this year has been just action-packed. I think the rookies, I don't know if it's the new NIL deal. I don't know if it's the new college football game, but all eyes are on the rookies. The rookies are juiced to the gills. They're making insane catches. If anybody watched the podcast I did yesterday, the Greg Kellogg and fantasy football analysts, we were talking about Isaac de Tesla. Insane. I think he's had 2 receptions and they're both touchdowns. He's had 1 snap in week 1, 17 in week 2. They're playing my team, the Ravens, on Monday, so I'm excited to see how well he does there. We'll see. I mean, let's get into some news, though, because like I said, we had an action-packed week this week. Gonna take one more sip of coffee. Actually, while I take my sip, listen to this quick NFL Survivor ad. If you don't remember, this is an ad. You can't join the NFL Survivor directly, but remember, you can join that NFL Survivor satellite for $20.
You want a shot at $50,000 in cold, hard cash? Well, BullRush just dropped a new sports comp, the NFL Survivor. And the total prize pool, a massive $100,000. First place gets 50 grand, straight up. Think you got the picks to survive 20 weeks? Here's how it works. Start each week with a 100K fantasy bankroll. Make picks using real NFL odds. Place in the top 80% and you survive. Below that, you're out. Your bankroll resets each week, so a bad week doesn't kill your season. Make it to week 20, and you and all the other survivors split the entire $100,000. You want the bag? Prove it. Join NFL Survivor only on BullRush. You want a shot at 50?
Let's get into some news, right? and wrap this show up. I know you guys probably have an exciting weekend ahead of you. So we start with two incredible performances that earned Players of the Week honors. Jonathan Taylor absolutely exploded against Denver, the Denver Broncos, racking up 215 yards, including a 68-yard breakaway run and a touchdown reception. His combination of power, speed, helped the Colts dominate on the ground and through the air. On the other side of the ball, Jared Goff put on a clinic for the Detroit Lions. Goff completed 23 of 28 passes for 334 yards and 5 touchdowns, earning a perfect passer rating as the Lions blew out the Chicago Bears. These were two career-defining games for both players. 24 out of 28? That's insane. Over in Baltimore, bleeding purple, Roquan Smith had a career day as the Ravens dominated the Cleveland Browns in all 3 phases of the game. Smith led the defense with tackles, but the highlight came when he recovered a fumble and returned it 63 yards for the first defensive touchdown of his career. It was a statement win for the Ravens and a performance that cemented Smith as one of the league's premier defensive leaders. Anybody that watched that 63, I was on my couch. I pretty much threw my pillow. I don't know how I didn't break my TV. I was so excited. Week 2 also delivered plenty of late game drama. One of the most dramatic finishes came in Tampa Bay versus Houston. The Buccaneers were trailing with just over 2 minutes left, but Baker Mayfield orchestrated a 16-play, 80-yard touchdown drive to retake the lead. It included a 15-yard scramble on 4th and 10 and a winning score that came from Rachaad White on a 2-yard run with only 6 seconds remaining. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of couple 6, 5, 8 seconds left in the game and people score and win. Another tight one, Colts versus Broncos. The Colts pulled off a last-second victory over Denver. The details: Colts kicker Spencer Schrader got a redo on his field goal attempt after a defensive penalty, and then he converted. That swing in fortune. Sorry, I got a little thing that I'm reading. I can't remember all this, and it's going a little too fast for me. The swing in fortunes right at the end turned a likely loss into a win. The Cowboys and Giants game was a wild one as well. In a back and forth affair, Dallas edged the New York Giants 40-37 in overtime. Despite plenty of mistakes and big plays from both sides, the Cowboys made enough plays to force OT and then win it. Key players and key moments, especially in the fourth quarter, deciding this one. The Bucs again had to survive late trouble. Aside from the game winner, there were stretches where Houston's defense threatened the Bucs. Houston's defense or special teams miscues and penalties that kept things close longer than many expected. The composure shown by Tampa Bay in those final moments was a bigger factor than many people realized. On the flip side, some teams showed they couldn't close. Carolina had a stretch where they scored 16 straight points against Arizona, but couldn't capitalize in their final drive. The inability to execute under pressure, in the red zone, or when the clock was tight, and in the end, hurt those squads. So, lots of upsets, lots of people who just could not hold the lead in Week 2. Also, in Week 2, several second-year quarterbacks were under the spotlight, and many didn't look sharp. According to CBS Sports, some of the young QBs that have shown flashes but also exposed weaknesses are Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Michael Phoenix Jr., J.J. McCarthy, and Bo Nix. Caleb Williams' first start, fresh off a rookie year with growing expectations, Williams had struggles with consistency. Under pressure, he's thrown errant passes and shown occasional misreads. Jaden Daniels, although he's got the tools, mobility, and pocket awareness, he's still getting exposed on certain blitz schemes and tight coverage. There have been moments when he forced throws or taken sacks in poor situations. Drake May, on the other hand, has shown some accuracy and athleticism, especially in designed runs, but his decision-making under duress is still a work in progress. And Michael Phoenix hasn't had many opportunities yet to depth due to the depth chart and roster issues. But when he has played, he's shown promise mixed with some erratic accuracy and timing issues. J.J. McCarthy struggled in week 2 with turnovers and protection breakdowns. He got sacked multiple times, and some plays just unraveled under pressure. And Bo Nix is still learning, and it has been shaky in closing moments. His mechanics and timing with his receivers are not yet consistent, which has led to some missed opportunities. Like I said, this is so far for the first 2 weeks, this has been the year of the rookies. The rookies have been playing absolutely insane. Again, I don't know if it's just some rare phenomenon that we have these savants of rookies out there, or if it's just because of the mixture of the NIL deal putting so much more exposure on college players, and now they're rookies last year, or college football, the game dropping last year, so everybody's looking at those and those players and looking at their ratings in college football and translating that, just because we know video games are so big in sports as well. We got a few more chats here from Master Terrace Ford Best. He said I gotta get closer, sorry. He said we start the last trading day of the week with the main U.S. indexes very close to their all-time highs. In my opinion, the SP 500 is around 7100. Gold and Bitcoin are starting somewhat more flat. Today is derivatives expiration day, futures and options, so we could see periods of increased volatility, especially after 3:30 p.m. Spanish time. In addition, we have already learned data on retail sales in the United Kingdom, inflation in Japan. Interest rates in Japan have also remained unchanged. Trump and Europe continue to negotiate how they can impose new sanctions on Russia, especially on oil. That's one thing that I found very interesting, not to get political or anything like that. And just so you know, we have an for technical and fundamental analysis on trading, and as well as some really nice picks in our Discord. So make sure you hop in our Discord. Master Terrace for Best is one of our top contributors to technical analysis, and what you just saw there was just a sneak peek of what he gives daily in our Discord. Can't thank him enough for that. But yeah, one thing about that Trump-Russia thing is very interesting. Everybody wants to impose sanctions, but it's like a majority of the EU's oil still comes from Russia. I know it doesn't come directly. It's made in Russia and refined in another country and then sent to the EU, but it's kind of interesting how that works out. Last thing, since we're on the topic of Discord, I wanted to show you that we now have a new deal in our Discord. Sorry, I'm looking for the announcement right here. So if you hop in our Discord server and go over to BullRush announcements, I'm actually going to forward this one more time to our general, just so everybody who hasn't can join. But if you hop over here, let me pull it up for you guys. If you hop over here, you can see that we now have a new Diamond membership. And all you have to do, it's completely free, is just add the server tag to your profile. So that's going to put this little doohickey right next to your name. If you add that and then DM me, Mr. BullRush, on Discord, I'm going to add the Diamond member club tag to your profile, which means you'll be able to enter our special Diamond members club right here. What does that mean? We're going to be adding deals all the time right now. Whoa, I just showed it. Shouldn't have done that. Well, whoops. We'll delete that in post. But what that means is essentially you're going to get a bunch of deals. Right now, we got 10 free dollars. If you just join, you're going to get a free $10 in the system. So hop in there, join our Discord. Beyond even that, our Discord is filled with information, filled with knowledge, filled with like-minded traders, like-minded sports pickers, and it's just a place you do not want to not be in there. It's a major FOMO if you're not in there. So hop in there. And the last thing I wanted to say is I heard this crazy quote, and I thought it was very, very interesting. Whoops. I thought it was very interesting, this quote, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I think people a lot of times, I think a lot of people, especially in this day and age where we have TikTok and we have all of these opportunities and all these things that can help distract us and give us excuses and stuff. I thought this quote was very interesting. So, laziness So I'll say this: laziness is nothing but the habit of thinking. Uh, laziness is nothing but the habit of thinking of the effort instead of the outcome. I'll say it again: laziness is nothing but the habit of thinking about the effort versus the outcome. What does that mean? When you're thinking about a delicious food, right? You always think about what it's going to taste like and how delicious it is over the effort that it takes you to get up and go get that food, right? If you're sitting on your couch watching TV or a movie and you want some ice cream that's in the freezer, you're going to be like, man, that ice cream's so good. And then you're going to get up and go get that ice cream. You're not going to sit on the couch or you might, but hopefully you don't sit on the, because if you do, like, it's another level of laziness. But, if you want some ice cream out of the fridge, you're not going to sit there and be like, oh my gosh, well, it's going to take so long. I got to get up. I got to take my blanket off of me. I'm going to have my pillow's going to move. I'm not going to be as comfortable. I might get a little cold air on my face and it's going to make me a little cold. Then I got to put a hoodie on. You're not going to think about all that. You don't think about the effort that it takes to get that. You think about the outcome, right? Same thing with everything else in life. You got to think about the outcome. If you want to take a course to learn how to trade, you're not going to be like, oh my gosh, but it's like, 10 videos and each video is an hour long. It's 10 hours of watching the videos and then I got to take notes, and you don't think about that. A lot of people do, and that's why they don't start trading. But don't think about that. Think about, oh man, but then I could, potentially make money trading, and I could pay off my car, maybe get a nicer car. I could propose to that girl I like that I've been dating and get her a nice ring. Think about the outcome, right? Another one that I heard that is related to this is, when pregnant women, right? They'll always say, like, if you ask a pregnant woman right after she gives birth, like, do you want to have another kid or would you give birth again? They're gonna be like, no, I don't want to give birth. That was a terrible experience. But then a lot of times they have another baby, and it's because they're thinking about, the beautiful, the outcome. The outcome is you gave life to a new human. You know what I mean? You have a child. You have someone that you're able to raise and form into a person that you want to make hopefully that you want to have a positive impact in the world. But then if you think about the outcome, you're like, I gotta be pregnant for 9 months. I gotta go into labor. It's painful. I gotta, $20,000 in America to have a baby in the hospital. You think about all those things. Nobody's ever gonna have a baby if you think about how terrible it is, the process of having a baby. But you think about the end outcome, and you're like, yeah, I mean, that's why there's people out there with 5, 10 kids. Same thing applies to everything. I think that's very, very interesting way to define laziness. So one more time, laziness is just the habit. Laziness is just the habit of thinking about the effort versus the outcome. If you just start thinking about outcomes of things, I guarantee you success is going to flow to you like a river. On that, make sure you follow all of our social medias at BullRush Comp, everywhere except for Instagram. Let us have at BullRush Comp. For some reason, they're making me do at BullRush_comp, but at BullRush Comp on all social medias, at BullRush_comp on Instagram. Use the AMA promo code for a 100% deposit bonus on bullrush.tech. And if you want a prop account, make sure you use one of these codes right here. Make sure you use one of those codes. 30% off with welcome, 20% off with save 20, and 15% off with save 15. And remember that laziness is just the habit of thinking of the effort over the outcome. Start thinking about the outcome. Don't think about the effort. If you start thinking about the outcome over the effort, like I said, success is going to come to you. Have an amazing weekend. Catch us in London next week. And I hope you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Take some rips off my bong and watch the X-Files and eat Funyuns until I hate myself. I can't wait till the playoffs. Not because we'll be in them, but because I can eat shrooms and trip balls at a yoga class. Tyreek Hill was so mad he threatened to choke me out again. But he only fights people smaller than him, like his wife and kids. I really hope I don't get fired because I owe my blow dealer a shit ton of money. I thought Tua had some great passes. A couple of them were to the other team, but he had some good spiral on them. Tua's taken more hits than me at a Fish concert. He doesn't even know where he is half the time. When we got on the team plane, he thought it was an Applebee's. Having a quitting locker room is a lot like dying, and I can't wait to die. Because unless I go to hell, I'll never have to coach this team again. I'm going to go